All of you watching this have probably worked hard for your income and ability to pay your bills. Imagine a career that allows you to earn $7,000 a month income from the comfort of your home. I am introducing you to a career in pyramid scheme recruiting. Long gone are the days where you have to work for 40 hours a week. You just need to find two people with $1,000 who aren't familiar with the pyramid scheme business.
So we have Micah, who is in the water position. We have Macy and Moon, who are in the earth position.
This is a pyramid scheme on its side, I'm guessing so that the operators can hide its actual structure from the prospective customers. She mentions water and earth, the other levels are wind and fire. If you hear these terms, it is 100% a blessing loom scam, and the returns are about as reliable as Kyrie Irving playing a full season of basketball.
So when Micah is blessed out, usually with our way of working, Micah would go here on a waiting list.
The blessing loom scam that shot up in popularity during 2020 is the most obvious pyramid scheme known to man, and the operators do their best to add complexity to divert your attention away from its structure. What we're seeing here is a blessing loom scam that hit the Caribbean in early 2021. It's an enticing investment as they promote quick cash after only needing to recruit 2 new people. The reason why I wanted to make this video is because I was sent this information in April of this year and the scheme has already blown up. I've made a few videos detailing pyramid or Ponzi schemes in action, and I look like the idiot to the people entrenched in the scheme because they're making money or the product is on its way. I figured this video would provide an interesting look at what happens when the pyramid or Ponzi scheme finally crumbles. First, here's why people join. Here's an IG post by Shakira Dolan. If it was Shakira the musical artist, I'll admit I'll probably be influenced to do just about anything, but it is not the woman who can dazzle you with her swinging hips, it's the woman who can dazzle you with her expected returns. Turning $1,000 into $7,000 within 28 days is very common here in Las Vegas. Even though all of your friends who visit Vegas are winners on the tables, the most common conversation at McCarran Airport is the tourist going from $1,000 in debt to $7,000 in debt in 28 minutes. I'm going to introduce you to Renika, who appears to be Shakira's biggest competition. Hey guys, are you interested in joining an investment circle with other entrepreneurs? Entrepreneur is the word to use in 2021 if you ever want to convince someone to do something they shouldn't. Fake gurus are the biggest abuser of this term as they try to convince you that they're in the top 100 entrepreneurs of their zip code, but I've been noticing how many people use it to manipulate others into feeling empowered. MLMs, I'm looking at you. One-time investment of $1,000 and receive $8,000 return in 28 days. If anyone wanted to know the origin of the movie 28 Days Later, it was a bunch of people who joined a pyramid scheme chasing after the creator of the scheme who took all of their money. $1,000 reinvestment is mandatory with each bless out in 28 days. What's interesting about this pyramid scheme is that they force you to reinvest money back into your next blessing loom. For those of you not familiar with the blessing loom scam, they basically just label each level of the pyramid as a different name and you rotate into each level as new people enter. It is required that you bring 2 investors into the circle. Don't have 2 investors? You are allowed to secure your spot by joining while working on 2 investors. They'll still let you join even if you don't have 2 gullible family members because they have to do whatever it takes to keep the pyramid alive. I know some of you watching have joined something like this, so you always gotta remember this rule. If you have to recruit people in order to get paid and there's no obvious product sales, it's a pyramid scheme. This recruiter used a fake guru template of showing a wad of cash and letting you know that you can flip your money in 28 days. You only need to find 2 people once. You need to do more than find 2 people. You have to also convince them that this investment is legit and worth paying $1,000 to enter. Vegas is probably the only city where paying $1,000 to enter is a fair proposition for both parties. This one participant was clearly happy with what she received. I've received my blessing and only after 5 days. This thing can work, and this group is working because everybody is pulling their weight. The reason why pyramid schemes grow so fast is because they work. Unpopular opinion, pyramid schemes work. They work as long as new investors are pumping money into the system. What makes these schemes so deadly is you have people like this make money. It's magical. The money just appeared out of nowhere. They even said this thing can work, implying that there was initial skepticism that has since turned into belief because the money actually 8x'd in 5 days. Here's a Drake fan posting their cash payout indicating that they received their blessing in 14 days. People on the fence about joining the scheme are going to be convinced to join once they see it works. This investment scheme has everyone earning $7,000 for doing nothing.
But for those who endure, and in 3 weeks I got my money. Could not have gotten that anyway, so I was quite jubilant. I must give kudos to Kirk, I had to call him after and tell him thank him for being a man of his word, because I've been in so many before and they all crashed. So this was the one. So I was on top of the mountain.
Maria must have felt relief when she finally found a scam that paid out. What that really means is she was finally no longer on the bottom level when the pyramid crumbled. This is a fascinating conversation with someone involved. You do accounting, right? Yeah, why? I need you to explain how this is not a pyramid scheme. LOL, honestly, it kinda is. Number one, if you're an accountant and can't spot a pyramid scheme, I really hope you aren't this blind during your day job. Imagine someone asking you how you found your CPA. Miss Johnson, oh yeah, we met a couple months back in a pyramid scheme. She was just as confused as I was when we found out. But it's just they have that, you can get back your money and you automatically go back in, so you get more than one turn. Apparently this person can justify that a pyramid scheme is valid if you can get your money back. This person was then asked to explain how it's not going to collapse. When someone gets paid out, that person would go back at the bottom in fire position. So remember, you're actually paid out $8,000, but $1,000 automatically goes back in. It's fascinating how people can justify their decision making. The $1,000 going back in to the system just prolong the inevitable collapse. These blessing loom pyramid schemes stop working once new money stops entering. Here's someone who convinced their mom to join the circle 10 days ago and she was blessed out today. She's so happy after joining so many that failed. I saw this mentioned a couple times throughout the screenshots and videos shared with me. It's wild that people will join scams over and over again and expect the next one to be different. It's almost like these blessing loom scams and MLMs are all the same people being recycled. This is Kirk Brown, the mastermind of this scheme. His Instagram is @KirkBrownOnline and appears to be a mini celebrity where he's from. He is an actor, DJ, singer, host, and philanthropist. My favorite thing in life is when people claim to be philanthropists. You can give a homeless guy $5 and claim to be a philanthropist. Bonus points if they run pyramid schemes on the weekends.
And you put one here, one there. But as I said, it's evolved now because the numbers are big. I find a lot of people now are not searching for 2 because some days 10 come in or 20. Over Easter weekend, 51 people came in a day.
Everyone who joins these schemes has to invite 2 more people, which is why you have crazy growth numbers. If you make money in a pyramid scheme and were able to get out without a problem, you should feel as thankful as someone in the mafia who got out without serving jail time. But you should also feel guilty knowing that your blessing was from other people's losses. The questions you see on the right provide a pretty interesting look at pyramid schemes. Sydney on the top, if my board is stuck and I have exhausted all my options, what happens then? That means you got stuck with people who haven't been able to convince any of their family or friends to join. Your investment has already paid out to someone else, so you're out your money. If I pay money and don't get people, what happens? You're kicked out. Pyramid schemes are a bad business model if you can't recruit more people to join. The audio in the next clip isn't great, but Kirk is asked if it's a pyramid scheme.
I would say there's a difference. I think that persons categorize most blessing circles or all blessing circles, flowers, susu, meeting turns as a pyramid scheme. Most persons look at the layout of them by having 1 person in water, 2 persons in earth, 4 winds, and 8 fires, and look at it as a pyramid and a pyramid scheme.
Kirk should add profound intellectual to his Instagram bio.
So to answer that, I think we as human beings are who have turned a pyramid into something negative. A pyramid is a typical organizational chart. A pyramid is one of the most powerful things on earth that to this date in 2021, persons can't think how they constructed a pyramid with no running water and no major technology. Perfectly aligned at 100 degrees in the axis, running water, light inside by the refracted light.
Kirk's acting chops are definitely not in improv because he answers questions so poorly you would think he was concussed. Kirk has so much crap coming out of his mouth he could give a BJ and call it anal.
I know there's still a couple people in the chat right now that are a bit skeptical, but what I can say for sure is that the blessing circle is built on integrity, trust, and respect, and honor for others.
Now that the pyramid has fallen and people are out their money, Carrie should ask Kirk how much honor and respect he has for others.
I continue to share the information so that people can get a chance to come in. And I'm also very big on entrepreneurship, and I know that a lot of people could use some extra cash, to fund their businesses in terms of capital. This is absolutely risk-free. It's 100% transparent, and the person that's running it, which is Kirk, obviously, has a lot of respect for society at large.
That's such a weird comment to say someone has respect for society at large. Anyone with even the faintest idea of a pyramid scheme can see the stunt he was pulling. Carrie, you should ask him what he did with all the money. I bet he didn't return it.
So for those people who still feel a little uncomfortable, I would say to sit in the chat, get the information you require, ask your own questions, and come with sensible things to ask as well. Just don't be asking the same things that everybody else is asking.
It's always funny to me that these scammers always say to make sure to get all of the information you need, as if this is a legit operation. All you need is two things: pay $1,000 and recruit 2 people. There's literally nothing else to know. Just to give you an idea of how many people are on the call, here's a good idea. I saw somewhere earlier in the call that there were 500 at one point.
The thing is, it's all about trusting the process. As I said, I gave Kirk my money. I said, this is my right money. And the thing about it is, I did it right there, said, this is my right money.
A lot of times, these are the people who enter these scams. They're down to their last $1,000 and are hoping to walk away with $7,000 or whatever was promoted in the next month. They're vulnerable to these types of scams.
And I'll actually give you breaking news. I've tweaked the resale method, because last week, anyone knows me, keep my word, we did the Zoom, and there were persons who were stuck, to be honest. Some people got in and people left them dry. Persons promised to come in with them. This person reached out and said, Kurt, well, I was in here 6 weeks, 2 months, and they reached out to me and I said, nah, this shouldn't happen. And we took some of those resources and pushed them out, and they can tell you that group alone had 7 people come out.
Eventually, the recruits dry up and people are left wondering what happens now when their pyramid or blessing loom isn't advancing. Kirk has to find people somewhere and strategically put them in other blessing looms to get people paid out so they can keep promoting how legit it is. The operators of a pyramid scheme have to essentially keep the facade up as long as possible, like they were dumping buckets of water out of a boat from a leak that can't be fixed. What happens when the money stops coming in is what you see here. Dear Barbados, I'm here to say what I see for myself firsthand, the wickedness that happened in Kirk Brown's circle. I would have joined back in March after hearing how fast Kirk Brown's circle was moving. Even though I was not able to find my 2 people, I was blessed out by Kirk $5,000 with the agreement I'd leave in $2,000 since I did not bring on anyone. Kirk just needed the illusion that recruits were still rolling in. After being blessed, I joined in once again, and eventually I became close with one of the team leaders, and I tried to help as much as I could, because it was then I was able to realize Kirk Brown was nothing more than a deceitful, manipulative, wicked slut. Too funny. As soon as the broadcast went out about him, I believe the FTC or someone began alerting people on the island to stay away from Kirk's bogus investment scam, and that's what this person is referring to as the broadcast. And how his platform has crashed, and he changed the money from $7,000 to $6,000. Everything went downhill because people want to know why you are changing the rules after they joined. As the money stops flowing in, you have to pay less to the people getting blessed so you can preserve the scam as best you can. People started asking back for their money, but what many of you don't know is when admins were seeking the money back they left in his position is when things really got ugly, because oddly enough, he did not have it anymore. I have one question, Kirk. Where did the money go? Kirk is too busy being a DJ and Instagram star to worry about your money, pal. He created the scam and walked off with everyone's money. That's what happened. Why, in a time that hundreds of thousands of dollars are missing, you have the audacity to buy a house in Millennium Heights? Sounds like Kirk ran off with the money into a nice neighborhood. Kirk probably needs multiple guard-gated entrances to protect him from all of the people he screwed over. He can't give the persons that paid in large sums of money to him back their money. Even some fires, that's the new recruits, that never got on a board nor pay out the water position, they can't be refunded. They are taking new persons' money and refunding old persons. It's funny when I get hate from my videos on companies like OnPassive and CashFX because they haven't crumbled yet, so I'm just a hater who doesn't know what he's talking about. When the momentum stops for these schemes, they crumble fast and everyone is left wondering where their money is. Join a circle where you bless the water directly. C11 has 4,000 people, no confusion. Mature people who not about drama. Bring your 2 and work as a group. What's absolutely hilarious is this person blasts Kirk and then promotes literally the exact same scam that's mature people not about drama, which means it's just a scam still in operation. There's a saying in sports that's winning solves everything. Winning hides a lot of problems. Once a team starts losing, all of the drama comes out in the news. The same thing happens in scams. People will turn a blind eye and post their money when it's working, but all turn on each other when the music stops. Many persons left Kirk's circle and joined C11 to recover their money. That sums up these blessing loom scams perfectly. They lost money in one and immediately go to the next to recover their money. 7 days ago, Kirk's post on IG had a description sharing the definition of gratitude. I'm sure he's grateful that he's still able to go out in public and not worry about being put in jail for running a pyramid scheme. Like with any scam, I think the operator should have to return all money to all victims plus interest before the money goes anywhere else. Would you all agree? Thanks for watching.